and I'm gonna wait just a few minutes before I start. Make sure it's not glitchy. Kitty that's demanding pets right now. Don't get evil. Don't get evil. Whew. Alright, let's begin. Hi guys, I go by Journey here on YouTube. I am not the most entertaining, but I do try to find facts and events of Scientology and try to educate the community around me and around the world. So let's begin. I started back in 2024 locating any so I started researching because they jumped from over 10,000 to over 11,000 entities when they only opened 3. So I thought they were missing a couple of zeros, several in fact. And so I just started looking on Google, and then where they say it's located. I don't even have it open. And then went from there, and I'm still going by state because I'm in the United States, and I'm going through and actually finding, try to share this with you guys, trying to find actual business entities that are registered in Scientology's name, religious technology, like all their little tricks that we now know are them. So how I did the layers. So what layers mean are a category. So and under each category are subcategories of what you would find in that one grouped place. And I tried to start where the head, or the leader of Scientology. Anytime there's a leader of a religious group, that's it's cult. But I am trying to stay very politically correct with my verbiage, so that way actual people, instead of my opinion, see all the evidence instead of look away as soon as I say it's a cult, it's abuse, it's all this. It's all of a sudden they just tune you out. So that's why I cut out anti, which I know is, it took me a while. I really thought about it because I wanted the words to really come across their behavior and their behavior pattern. So I didn't want this not to be educational or opinionated. So Scientology's impact is my map. An educational view of Scientology data, so where they say they are, right? Or where someone would say, or their associates. In technology locations. So this is an educational portion. Cat is like looking at my fingers. I talk with my hands, by the way. So the first grouping is where the head is thing with the word international continental. Property, so known property would be, and go purple. This address is the Cannon Oaks Ranch, the Pack Ranch. To my knowledge, they still own the ranch. Nope, that's a plate. It's glossy. So sorry. The coloring is weird. They own a golf course. So anything that's like extra, I put in here. And of course, property is beneficial, profitable. Empty buildings, there are 15 around the world that I have so far. Associated, those are like, so I put a bus stop right by the gold base. I think that's important to know. Because anyone opportunity to leave, hey, they should be allowed to, right? Same thing, John Travolta's childhood. This is independent Scientology. I'm sharing this right. Oh my gosh. Bigger. All right. Sorry about that. This is not my forte, by the way. Either presenting or slides or mapping. None of it. I'm just trying to be a human here and have a voice to this that I cannot believe it's still happening. Still is happening, guys. So this is independent entity ASI. So this map is by far not finished, not even close to finished. I have a lot of empty spaces. Let's save. But the ASI, maybe I should go by my notes. Let's share this. Okay. The ASI means ink. It's basically taken over T, which is Church of Scientology Scientology. It's crap. Anyways, they kind of oversee everything. So all the vaults and all the banking, everything, private airstrip. At that one vault that I just showed you. Let me see. Where did you go? Nope. Here. No, I don't even know where you went. It's in Mexico. There it is. So this airport, airstrip, is a privately owned airport by the Church of Scientology. Okay. There is a paper, and I don't know if I loaded it up. It doesn't look like there's another, but I need to put it in here too. Where the manager, the address goes right back to Author Services Inc. in Los Angeles. So it's all the birthing. It's the next one. So I am on a huge hunt because there's a lot of addresses that coincide with one another. Oh my gosh. I like how I spell Scientology over here. Like I said, I'm not an. So I am finding different birthing locations of around the world, because even over here in Europe, I don't have one over there. Oh, I do. I should. In Denmark. So then I have all the rest of the vaults. Dear Lord, don't do that. Sorry, I had a cat. Sorry. Okay. Oh, boy. So we have different vaults. We have a failed vault in Wyoming. It's a completely abandoned, if they still own this property. Of course, they went in, bought it for cash, didn't tell the locals what they were even doing. Then the locals found out, and there's a whole backstory that Dylan Gill knows more about with buying that property and doing all that, usual behavior stuff. I got museums, Arizona, the Death Museum, an L. Ron House in New Jersey. And then, we jumped. So this should be AO. AO stands for Advanced Organization, and different parts of the world have different names for their advanced organization. Canada, LA, Europe, St. Hill, America. It gets all jumbled. CPLO is all their printing addresses, where they print all their propaganda and fake numbers, that's for sure. Able, this one really is just developing, guys, on this map, because I am on the hunt for the other. So able in the command channels really means that this is the higher up int part. The United for Human Rights. This is like international level, and there was ones. Like the National Affairs Office. So it's like the big heads up where they get all the information, and the information is sent to them of how many are you ordering for print, and then able talks to blah blah blah. So this is a real organization, money wise, and just hand it out, and crimes have dropped just by handing it out. There are closed big entities that I was trying to this one should have been in Narconon, but I don't know why. Let's see. COO Latin America is no longer. So it's a liaison office. Continental liaison. You know what I mean. See, it's just a bunch of words that are made up. And then I got 2 for profit, which is the Golden Era Productions and the Cafe on L. Ron Hubbard Way. So that is more developing, because I know they have bought in a lot more things. Actually, this is the Golden Era Productions Cafe. There should be, I guess I haven't added it yet, but on L. Ron Hubbard Way, there's another cafe that is strictly run by Scientologists, Sea Org, and then the profit goes to Scientology. So the next one. So this one is in the wrong category. Like I said, this is not perfect whatsoever. HCA is Hubbard College. That also. The last one is Admin West US. So the next layer is Able, next category. So you got Narconon, Apple, Applied Scholastics, Wise, CCHR, Hubbard College, Truth About Drugs, which is Foundation for a Drug-Free World. It's just Truth About Drugs is on their pamphlets. In another type, which is not a separate building, but they claim there's other, like the Way to Happiness and everything in there, but same staff. I got some volunteer locations on the map, and Criminon, Tennessee, and LA, which I find is hilarious. The detail on Google Maps was physical therapy clinic and location in Enterprise Rent-A-Car. So find it very interesting. Youth for Human Rights is another portion of United for Human Rights. I've been finding Youth for Human Rights around the world, and I wanted to start a portion of that just because they're targeting kids. The Way to Happiness, of course, is in every Dianetics and every org, but to have its specific address, the specific building for it is building right here. It literally says The Way to Happiness. And then the Scientology Mission of Brand Boulevard. I was just investigating this. The Hollywood Production Center. They use the top, or the roof, barbecues and stuff. Yeah, I investigated it a while ago, but I get all my notes mixed up, of course, when I just lie. See. Took over. So this is very important for those that need to be either reminded of a network called CAN, Cult Awareness Network. It was run not by a religious entity in San Francisco, and of course, because people were escaping Scientology went after them, and they went bankrupt. Court took over the business, and then a year or two, they petitioned for all their files, and the judge awarded them all of their old claims. So they got all the names. Scientology got all the names to fair game the ones that are already talked. I got an auditing field group. So I learned a little more about the auditing field group that I've been also finding that I have not uploaded to this map. They recruit and they get a commission. They also go to you instead of you going to the org. But just reminds me of human trafficking. My third layer is called public. Oh, before I get there, might as well share with you all of the Able logos. This is Narconon. I have closed and opened on all these. Criminon, Author Services, the Galaxy Press, CCHR, Able, Applied Scholastic, United for Human Rights, which Youth for Human Rights does go underneath that too. WISE, The Way to Happiness, Foundation for a Drug-Free World. This one also, a year ago, used badges on their website, and by a collective group, by a lot of different people, including myself, called local police that we saw their badges on being used as a promotion on this website, and they were ordered to take it down. Scientology volunteer minister, and then, the Associated for Better. So just be on a lookout. If you see this, it is definitely Scientology. Also, ABC Mouse is part of, is a Scientology-owned Applied Scholastics. So it's very well hidden on a WISE company. I think it should be known that any funds, or any funds that you give, a portion of it goes up to Scientology for their membership and, someone's religious experience or trafficking, or, hey, you only get $47 a week, which is absolutely disgusting, and okay. It just disappeared last night. All right. So, Applied Scholastics, they have the Delphi Schools, Kids Orange Tech, Ability School, Greensfield School, ABC Mouse, Kids World School, Number One Advancing Education LLC, Washburn Academy, World Literacy Crusade, Da Vinci Academy. I could spell that. Silicon Valley. There is another one that I'm investigating that I have not put up yet, just because I'm investigating the hell out of it. WISE, World Institute of Scientology Enterprises. So this one is a key with the memberships and stuff, the WISE companies, and buying up undeveloped property in Clearwater, Florida. Also, WISE companies own the elderly hospice care for Sea Org. So a lot of investigation is going into that as well. Human rights are definitely being violated, and have been violated since the inception of Scientology. So I got the CCHR Citizens Commission on Human Rights. This is basically their hate for psychiatry and their belief about it being abusive, which I think sometimes it is, but their belief is distorted, definitely. The the Hubbard College. This is aims to in the belief of creating a better world by providing a system of ethical organizational practice that yields strong business results. Their belief that you can be successful with Scientology and indoctrination and ethics is something else. So, whew. All right. I went off on a tangent. Apologies. Okay. I have a couple with volunteer ministers about the touch assist. It's basically practicing medicine without a medical degree. And then you get infiltrating schools and Criminon, their statistic on their website claims 88% drop in recidivism after Criminon program. Just introducing it, man. And of course, every level offers other able, like the Criminon program introduces the way to happiness. So yep. So we went over that. So public, anyone that is raw meat or PC or OT. So pre-clear, high, lowest on the bridge, not even on the bridge, on the bridge and on the top layer of the bridge. So I go over the terms on this. Then I have the closed locations, which are a lot. I'll show you in just a minute. And then mission. So of course, Dianetics and personality tests, just like the test center. And then they send you over to the org, closest org, or whatever you need, because they find your ruin. I'm on a live. Has divisions, okay, the organizational board. So, and then inside the org mission on my map, it explains, just like I said, the same staff will be used for all the resources. They do not have their own building. And then around the world, there are names with Dianetics. Instead of Scientology being used. So I have 245 closed. They are no longer either on the building around the world. So, and I have some more to add. I have 193 missions around the world, 166 orgs, and then 39 that they claim to be their own, but of course they all collide with each other. Person can be all the able cities, and then of course Dianetics it's expanding in South America. It is basically out of Canada. It's mainly in Toronto, and of course they've been struggling to find a building. And then, of course, they're keeping that empty building. And then one is so random. They added it to the middle of the ocean next to the other mission that I do have. Sure, you want to be... No one's going to be going to you, but see? Apparently these two are still open. Good luck swimming to it. My next one layer is the gold base. Now, I really wanted to do this layer by itself just because it's so isolated and in one section and what buildings are what. So, we got housing, and so there's staff berthing. It's all like the G units, middle villa and all this. It also describes whether or not there's a celebrity that will have its own little villa. Miscavige's office, civic storage, motor pool, his private gym, and then the studios for FilmLab, sound, props, just other studios. The recreation, which is tennis, basketball, volleyball, baseball diamond, rose garden. Then you got the security gates and underground tunnels. Course auditing, which is course this building, guys, is the whole. So all the exec strata where they worked became the whole. So yeah, I got some dining, and then the running program, RPF, and purification. Or of course I had to jump in and whatnot, where the mustards are, where roll call is, morning, noon, and night. Can you imagine? Laundry building only on Sunday mornings. The RTC building. The upper reservoir. So of course I have the Eagle lookout, security lookout. The start is a PR venue. It's just a building shaped like a boat, and the pool. My last layer so far, guys, is Pinellas County, which is, it consists of 25 plus cities. So if you are not in the US, this it's a city within a county, and then which makes up a bunch of cities, and then it's a state. Each has its different governing rules depending on jurisdiction. So, Pinellas County right. I was trying to show you boundary. Okay. I don't think it's going to show on this one. Anyways, it's like, here's Dunedin. So right here, and then right here. Like this, all right here is Clearwater. This is downtown zone, the zone for downtown. This is all one building. Different buildings. They own all of this property. The yellow is Scientology, by the way. This is the Hacienda Gardens. So each of these are the buildings, guys. This is not wise companies. These are businesses that own the dang property. On the other, it's because strangely my pens that had coordinates moved it up to this parking lot, which they don't own. Yes, there are Scientologists that live here, but as far as I know, it's not owned. Like, I could not find anything on this person. They're starting to buy undeveloped property. They own all this, own this. Own the parking lots. So there is a mosque. I'm trying to find it. So this parking lot's all owned. This is where all the wise, that whole street is. Wonder where this went. This is owned. Parking lot is owned by a Scientologist company. So is this building. Oh, why did you see? I don't understand why the actual locations are moving. That's so weird. Okay. This parking lot is owned by Scientology. That's why everybody says park in this garage. This building is owned by a Muslim. Two other buildings, and I put him owning this though. Interesting. Okay, maybe I'm just losing my mind because I'm working too hard. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, they even own this plot of land, this whole thing, this little building. It's gotten a little overwhelming. And here, I'm trying to find. Okay, it's this street they want. Between this empty thing, owned by a Scientologist, by the way. See Clearwater Downtown Properties? That is a wise company, guys. That is not city owned. And the Scientology owns this. Scientology owns this. All of this. Why are you over here? Let's stop. Anyways, they want this. This is all city property. Because if they've owned it for years, why weren't they paying for it? So that is my map, guys. I have been looking into other like legal legal lawsuits that all involve human rights and being violated from day one. This is how Scientology operates. The first one that I found was Allard versus Church of Scientology. So this went to the appellate court in 1970. It first went through in 1969. Or 19... No, I'm not sure because I just saw that. So in March of 1969, Eugene Allard, Allard became involved in the Church of Scientology in Texas. He joined the Sea Org in Los Angeles, and then, signed the billion-year contract, that whole Scientology, and to help clear the planet of reactive people. And then he later became the flag banking officer. Another person, Alan, let's just say, you guys can see this, right? No, because you see my fat face. Oi. There you go. Let's see. Make it bigger for you. Okay, so he wanted to leave. Told Alan. Allard told Alan, "Hey, I want to leave." The other person, whatever, they talked about it. They told him that the only way he could get out of the Sea Org was to go through auditing and to get direct permission. That right there, he's saying no, and here he has to jump through hoops. A chaplain of the church came to see him. Lawrence Krieger, the highest-ranking justice official of the church in California, told the respondent that if he left without permission, he would be fair game. And you'll know we'll come and find you, and we'll bring you back. And we'll deal with you in whatever way is necessary. So the findings were the verdict and judgment were entered for Allard on the complaint for $50,000 in compensation damages and $250,000 in punitive damages. There was a cross complaint, which is absolutely ridiculous. That was 1969, guys. And so I was trying to find this, and I have no idea. I'm getting more organized before I jump into this bigger project that I'm about to start. But in Sacramento, so we have Sacramento State it's a California State University. So California or Sacramento State has their own, newspaper. And celebrating their 70 years, they did this, presentation of this museum exhibit. That's what it is. I'm staring right at it. And that's when I came across, in 1974, was it 1976. So 1973, Scientology came in into Sacramento. A person on their newspaper team, whatever. I'm jumbling my words, so sorry. They decided to say their experience with Scientology and that there were out several $1,000s that they did not have and they did not benefit a thing. Of course, Scientology got wind of this. Scientology, San Francisco, tried to prohibit them from, let me see if I can, because I couldn't find it, but it's right over here. Let's see, place. Let's see if I can get. Here we go. Okay. So, and I have it in my pictures on my phone, but you see the cross and you see a dollar bill on it. They did not like this PR, and they went after the school's newspaper, everybody on. They paid the school newspaper, I think it was $10,000, but it said 20 on this one. From the archives, hold on. Here we go. This was reviewed back in 2019 when it was the 70th anniversary. It was almost a 4-year clash between the Church of Scientology, Sacramento State's Associated Students, so ASI, and the State Hornet, which is the newspaper, ended with all-out media blitz. So all out war, right? They were saying to the editor and everything, you know, this is slander. This is bias, libel, and threatening, right? Trying to get this right. So back in 74, so it was 74 and 75, the local chapters threatened to sue. The suit named 5 defendants according to the article: ASI, which is the Associated Students, Hornet editor, and then the author of the original series, and then the faculty advisor. So in order to avoid a libel suit, ASI reached an agreement with the Church of Scientology that called for the State Hornet to publish stories with the Church of Scientology would submit. So limiting their own voice, right? The agreement also called for the stories to be published without any comment, disclaimer, or editorializing. The editor-in-chief, hold on, in the summer of 1977, this new editor was offered the same agreement. And he declined. He's like, I'm not doing that. And then I have to say the agreement goes against all my journalism ethics. And then goes on what they had to do, which was keep talking to people. We felt threatened about the agreement, and then it refers feeling that the state hornet would be ruined by such an agreement. The Scientology standoff. So the suit was filed by the church in 1974. Because, okay, the suit named 5 defendants. Yeah, I read that. The agreement settlement called for the Hornet to print one of the 3 articles submitted. Okay. Don't agree. How really? If the Hornet violates the agreement, they would be in contempt of court, and the ASI would stand to lose $500,000. More threats. The Hornet and the staff member, the faculty, argued that by the board approving this agreement without other people, their rights. Did not say that right. Okay, the board decided for everyone that we're going to agree to this. And the argument was it is not only unconstitutional, but agreed upon without the consent or knowledge of the other parties involved. This is exactly what Scientology does. So, they fought for it. See, the other paper was way better, and I can't even find that now. So each settlement called for a action of some kind plus an amount of money paid to their by SA. But both settlements were turned down by the Senate on the advice of our insurance group. Really? Yeah, the other one was way better. Anyways, Scientology finally backed down. They're like, we're not taking our rights. So, again, my big fat face is bigger in the picture. So, this was back in the 60s and 70s. For it to still continue to this day, for human rights to be violated, but they say they are. It's fraud. It's so for me to keep going with figuring out how much property and business wise and all the money filtering back in, this is definitely not a bias of you, because my right to choose not to be part of a religion is protected under the Religious Act. They try to reverse it and use it against you of your rights. And I would just say, stay strong. And we're going to get through this. We're going to figure out ways to keep our voice strong and to keep going, because they will not take my voice. That's for damn sure. I just can't believe someone can say they're for human rights and do the exact opposite, and somehow it's voluntary. Anyone could say no at any given time. So just like an abusive relationship, if you're in an abusive relationship and one day you wake up say, nope, not anymore, just because they agreed to it the day before does not mean it continues. Yeah, it needs to stop, Scientology. So, especially when kids are concerned. That's what's taking me off. So, better get ready for a meeting. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I know I'm not entertainment or someone that sets trends. I don't even go with trends. But keep you guys informed.